Welcome back. Our guest in Talk to Al Jazeera is Mr. Khalid Mish'al, Chief of the Political Bureau of Hamas. Mr. Mish'al, the Israeli army pulled out of Gaza, but the offensive doesn't seem to be over.
هذا يدل على أن المشكلة هي في السلوك الإسرائيلي.
This proves that the problem is Israel's behavior. The Israeli attacks on Gaza over the past week were in fact nothing less than a Holocaust. I repeat, I accuse Olmert, Barak, and the political and military leadership of Israel of perpetrating the real Holocaust against the Palestinian people in Gaza and the West Bank. You have all seen the atrocious images. When the Israeli military machine failed to deflate the resolve of the Palestinian resistance fighters of all factions in Gaza, it took revenge against the innocent civilians. It blitzed unsuspecting children. 2/3 of the victims were innocent children, women and civilians. More than 20 children were killed. It is a heinous crime perpetrated by Israel. Random bombardment, once by F-16 warplanes, once by Apache helicopters, which are American-made weaponry, and by the Israeli artillery stationed on the borders. When Israel realized its failure and that the majority of casualties were civilians, it was forced to withdraw under international pressure. But as stated by Olmert, this was merely a phase. Israel has not declared the end of its aggression on Gaza. Both Olmert and Barak stated two key matters. One, it is the first round of assaults, and secondly, they threatened Hamas and the Gazans of further escalation. With the temporary cessation of aggression, we stopped firing rockets, simply for the reason that we do not want escalation. We are merely defending ourselves. However, Israel continued its bombardment and aggression. Our people are practically unarmed, but we are a people that do not surrender, a people that can never be broken. We are armed by a just cause and genuine rights.
But the Israelis are saying that the offensive in Gaza was a result of the rockets launched at Sderot and Ashkelon.
This is a lie. Let your viewers ask the following question. Which came first, occupation or resistance? Israel started the occupation, and as a reaction came the resistance. Israel possesses the aggressive occupation forces and advanced arsenal, while our people are defending their land in a simple way. Rockets are part of our simple means of self-defense. Another question. If it is a question of rockets, why is Israel killing Palestinians in the West Bank, where there are no rockets? The West Bank is living a tragedy. Both Mahmoud Abbas and Salam Fayyad, in collusion with American General Dayton and General Jones, forced a large number of the Al-Aqsa Martyrs Brigades affiliated to Fatah to lay down their arms. They provided security for them in certain areas. Despite this agreement, Israel carried out killings in the West Bank. They were not even armed. This proves that the killings in Gaza and the West Bank are a product of the aggressive terrorist nature of Israel, who wants to exterminate the Palestinian people, to crush and destroy the Palestinian cause. I visited many Arab states, including Saudi Arabia and Egypt, and contacted several Arab and European officials, and was asked if we were ready to stop firing rockets. The answer was yes. The problem is not on our side. Our rockets are not an action. They are a reaction. If you succeed in obtaining an Israeli assurance to end the large-scale aggression on Gaza and the West Bank, and to end the siege, we are prepared to genuinely address the question of rockets. To date, not a single state, Arab, European, or even a superpower, has succeeded in obtaining such an assurance from Israel. It is no secret now. A powerful state informed us a few days ago that their foreign minister telephoned Barak and offered mediation for a comprehensive reciprocal truce. Barak's answer was negative. Hamas cannot be blamed, nor can the Palestinian resistance, for defending themselves in a war of necessity, not of choice.
Some recent reports suggest that some Gulf and Arab countries are willing to mediate between Hamas and Israel. How accurate is this?
There are no efforts for mediation between us and the Israelis, nor will we accept any. We have no trust in the Israelis. It is not a problem of mediation. Some of our friends in the Palestinian Authority allege that we initiated communication or mediations with the Israelis. These allegations are false. However, some parties endeavor to bring a comprehensive truce, and President Abbas himself said as much. If European and Arab states and President Abbas wish to put Hamas to the test, We are ready. Let them come with a proposal for truce between Israel and Hamas and all the other resistance forces. But none of them can. Today, Israel wants the Palestinian resistance to cease, leaving Israel with a free hand to wreak havoc in Gaza and the West Bank as it likes.
But the Egyptians are mediating between you and the Israelis.
Yes, this is true in relation to the captured soldier Gilad Shalit only, and we accepted indirect negotiations through Egyptian mediation to reach a prisoner swap. Some progress was made in the past, but Israel is still blocking the deal since it refuses to release a large number of prisoners, and we are adamant that they be released, especially the Palestinian leaders and those with life sentences.
Mr. Mahmoud Abbas said yesterday that he is willing to mediate between you and between the Israelis. Are you taking his offer seriously?
Mahmoud Abbas is not a mediator. He is a Palestinian citizen and the Palestinian president. Thus, he can by no means act as a mediator between us and the Israelis. We do not seek mediation. Mahmoud Abbas, Fatah, Hamas, together with all other factions, are supposed to be on the same side, and Israel on the other. Now we have a vision. We accept the state on the 1967 borders. The question is, what is the Israeli position towards this vision? Where is the international will that may make Israel respect this vision? Again, the cause of struggle and the cause of bloodshed in the region is Israeli behavior. Aggression, massacres, assassinations, destruction, and incursions, in addition to denial of the legitimate Palestinian rights. So long as this Israeli mentality persists, supported by the US and international silence, which I condemn, we do not expect any further progress. I do not think anyone can blame the Palestinian people for defending themselves.
Mr. Mishal, you said that you're not happy with the international reaction, but also the reaction of the Arabs and Muslims was not to the expectations of Hamas. I haven't seen thousands and thousands of Muslims from Casablanca to Indonesia going to the streets and demonstrating for Hamas. I haven't seen any Arab or Muslim leader saying that, telling the Israelis to stop the incursion in Gaza. Are you disappointed?
We have to differentiate between two things, the people's response and their leaders' response. In the first case, we are proud of the response to our calls on the streets of the Arab and Muslim world, who despite their harsh conditions expressed their support for Hamas. As for the leaders' response, we regret to say it is weak, silent, fragmented and impotent. Above all, we were dismayed when some officials blamed the resistance rockets, criticized resistance fighters, and then spoke of excessive use of force by Israel. These voices are unacceptable and worthy of strong condemnation.
This is going to be my last question. If the status quo is maintained and the blockade of Gaza is tightened, what's the next step? Do you see any exit strategy for you as Hamas? Because by the end of the day, you control the Gaza Strip.
Let me say this clearly. Neither the US, nor Israel, nor any other international, regional, or even domestic player will succeed in denting Hamas's steel resolve. Nor will they manage to maintain the siege on Gaza. The siege will come to an end by virtue of the status quo. The Palestinian people can no longer accept the siege and will continue to support Hamas. This is clearly evident on the streets of Gaza, where the siege, starvation and killings are taking place, and evident in the West Bank, where the same is inflicted by Israel and the Palestinian security forces, and evident on the streets of the Arab world. Hamas's support is growing and our will cannot be shaken. Those who are betting on Israel's arsenal have realized beyond doubt in recent days that Israel's tanks and missiles and Holocaust-inflicting machinery cannot defeat Hamas's resolve. On the contrary, Hamas is growing stronger. The only exit strategy is to respect the Palestinians' democratic choice, negate foreign influence, and bring all Palestinian factions to the negotiating table. No power on earth can defeat a people. Hamas is not a detached or marginal movement. No power on earth can defeat a people. Hamas is not a detached or marginal movement. It is in the heart of the Palestinian people. It is serving their interests. Any proposal serving the interests of our people will be accepted to Hamas. This is my message to the international community. to save their time. You attempted to undermine democracy in 2006, yet you failed. To overturn the Mecca Agreement, yet you failed. Plotted with American money and weapons, as revealed by Vanity Fair, and again you failed. Today Israel attempts to crush Hamas in Gaza, also in the West Bank, in collaboration with the Palestinian security forces, and it is failing. Save your time. Hamas cannot be defeated. It is the movement of the people, by the people, and for the people.
Mr. Khalid Mish'al, leader of Hamas, thank you very much indeed.
أهلا وسهلا بك.
From me, Hashim Ahbara, goodbye by now.